Hello, hello. Paul here. Hoping you guys are all good. It's a little bit of a gray day here in Calgary today, but I got a few minutes and I wanted to check in. I titled this one as Rolling with What Shows Up. And it's a really important skill right now because we're in deep surrender. We're trying to figure out a path forward and how to love ourselves and how things should be and how things could be better, and we're on this ascension awakening journey, and we got a picture of it of what it's supposed to be, but it's not working out the way you expected. And that's normal, not working out the way you expected. God's plan and the higher self's plan of awakening whew, has a lot of trauma and struggle and suffering level events on it. You can take them as suffering or struggle, or you can take them as joyous and incredible. But they have this way of beating us down and crushing us. And I've been dealing with that for the last few days. My chest is tight and have this pain in my back and just not really feeling where I should be right now, or feeling ascended or awakening, or in some ways feeling devolving, like going backwards. I looked at videos of myself from last year and bright and excited and working through things, and now I just feel like, holy shit, the whole weight of the world is on my shoulders, and that's a choice. We watch and we see what's going on in the world and we want to make change, and we're trying to make the reality inside of ourselves. And I don't know about you, but I'm constantly testing my reality to see if something new's shown up. Is love and relationships now possible without a whole bunch of pain and suffering? Is money and abundance possible? Is a divine union possible? These are all things that are been programmed into us or believed to be our calling, our purpose, our reason for being here. And we get to this point and we're awakening, and parts of us are falling off. All our definitions and discomfort and confusion and frustration is all fading away, and it's beautiful. But at the same time, we feel like we're almost dying, or that we're giving up everything that we created. And it's a feeling. Wonderful, I got a big garbage truck beside me making lots of noise. But it's a feeling that is part of the process. A feeling of, holy shit, this is not good. This is angry. This doesn't make me feel happy. But we're also starting to question what does make us happy, and was the things that we thought we had, were they making us happy? Things like relationships, for example. Having a codependent relationship where you're searching for all your love from another person, having narcissistic relationships where that other person is wounded and is taking their love from you and pushing you in all these ways. Those were the relationships we had divorces over. We had to leave and move onward from, and it was crazy, having to unwind ourselves and say, okay, that was not serving me. And now it is serving me to set boundaries and start to. The reason I brought that type of person into my life was so that I could make a choice, I could make a change, I could do better, I could feel better. Um, it's insane what we have to put ourselves through to shake us out of our reverie and say, okay, I need to love myself first. I need to see these things showing up and not judge myself and say I'm not worthy of better and I'm always a victim, or other things. But now all of a sudden it's like, okay, I love myself so much first. I'm not going to let somebody talk to me like that. I'm not going to let these kind of soul sucking or energy sucking things continue to happen. So the whole process of awakening, the whole process of what we design for ourselves, the whole process of this insanity that we go through has been to get us to choose different, to change, to not live in the bubble that was created by our parents, by our upbringing, by our epigenetic lineage. We're now starting to choose us. And once you choose us, there's a big awakening that starts to happen. There's clarity, there's anger, there's frustration, there's fear, there's doubt, there's like, what the hell's wrong with me? And then you got to take your self-worth back, and you've got to value yourself, and you got to choose you. And right now we're having to roll with a lot of shit that's showing up. And I'm not saying, when I say roll with it, I'm not saying we hide from it, we disappear, we retract, we stop. Um, the intensity gets pretty hard sometimes. So sometimes, yeah, that's the only coping mechanism we have, is to pull back for a little while. But eventually, we got to make that choice. We got to look deeper. We got to see why we're angry, why this isn't working out, why do people keep hurting me, why do blah, blah, blah. And you're going to get some new answers each and every time. And we do these things in stages, in levels, and they crush us sometimes. And to feel sad, to feel lots of emotion, to feel angry, to feel frustrated, uh, is part of the process. And you're not going to choose better. You're not going to get better. You're not going to improve unless you clean that stuff up. And we're going through that process. Rolling with it means starting to look at it and say, okay, something's wrong here. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel right. Why does this keep showing up? And then you go deeper, and then you go deeper. You go into the frustration, you go into the pain, you go into the suffering, and you start to say, okay, I was doing that to me. I needed to get clarity. I needed to to really start to choose me. And it's a progressive process. It'll show up. Right now I've got stuff showing up that I thought I dealt with a year ago or 2 years ago, but it comes in layers. And sometimes the layers are interleaved with other stuff. So you got to unpack and release this layer before you can see the version of that layer. And the more we keep rolling with it and saying, okay, this is for my highest good, I'm learning something. What's in this for me? What am I supposed to learn? Instead of getting angry, instead of curling up, instead of resenting, instead of playing the victim, uh, magic starts to happen, because it was created for us. And we chose it, whether you like it or not. We chose it. If we're God and our higher selves are designing processes to help us awaken and learn and become advanced souls, guess what? Sometimes they have to give you some really messy shit. And we're all going through that. That's our traumas. That's our pains and suffering, our victimness, and other things. But as you start to acknowledge that, once you're through it, you're better. Once you've seen why, you're better. Once you've chosen better, it becomes better. That's the whole process of awakening, is rolling with it, catching your breath afterwards. Maybe I had a woman tell me something yesterday or last night, no, night before last, and it just slammed me in my heart that I wasn't in connection with my divine feminine inside. And I was so angry. I didn't point it at her, but I was so angry that I dealt with that, and I've done it, and all this kind of stuff. And I went and sat down and finally breathed and finally acknowledged that maybe it could be true. And I found stuff inside that was true. And I started to heal that, and I started to forgive and release and go through all my past and clean up all those energies where I resented and was angry. And I thought I'd done that already, but there was just other levels that were there. So roll with it. Keep rolling with it. Accept what shows up. Don't push it away. Don't hide. Because right now, we got to clean up the shadow. We got to clean up the stuff that's hiding underneath. And then you're going to feel the magic. So keep rolling with it. Do your best. If you get stuck, sometimes you need a reflection. Sometimes you need somebody to talk to that says, okay, by the way, you keep talking about yourself like this, and maybe that's not serving you. And the magic starts to happen. Sometimes we need those mirror people. We need people that can see us for who we are and see into what's going on and aren't afraid of telling the truth and calling a spade, and calling you out for what's underneath. So if you need help, come on, put a message in, direct message me, whatever. There's lots of people that are doing it, but it's time. And the quicker we can get through it with some help, the quicker this is done. So I love you all. You have a great day, and go look at your shadows and make friends with them, and you'll be surprised. So love you so very much. Have a great day. See you soon.